Welcome boys. Okay, in this video we're going to do an oil change on the 05 Dodge Neon SXT. It's got the 2.0 liter inline 4, holds 4.5 oil capacity, and we're going to change it today. So, already got the car lifted up. Normally I would say it probably would be faster to drive it up ramps, but one, it's front drive. Two, the ground's kind of wet. It would just sit there and do burnout the whole time. And it doesn't have a lot of ground clearance, so I always have to get really long 2x4s. So I jacked it up this time. I used my Pittsburgh jack, a piece of wood, go up under it on the little A-frame there. Right under that oil cooler here, this piece. Get the 2x4, go up there, jack the whole car up from the middle, and then I got my jack stands on either side. Rear wheel is chalked, emergency brake is on. And with that said, ready to go underneath to figure out what bolt size we need to get the drain plug out. Okay, and using a 17mm, we've managed to crack this loose. And out comes all the oil then. So we'll let that drain. I'm going to spray some brake clean on that filter. And then we'll pull that thing off. And also don't forget that before you do any of this, make sure you do have your oil cap off for a smoother flow. Okay, we got our yucky filter off. Disable 1 M1 102 to be replaced by this guy, Model 1 Extended Performance M1 102, up to 25,000 or 20,000 miles or 1 year. Same as the oil here. That's what goes in this guy because I only change the oil once a year. And she doesn't drive anywhere near 20,000 miles, maybe between 10 and 12, I think, in a year, give or take. So that's what we got. Remember, it takes 4.5 quarts. We got 5. We got the oil filter, so now we're just kind of dripping on out from here. So also there was an O-ring on this, but it was past it, so now we have our crush washer affixed. Make sure we don't have any leaks, and you'll need to buy some of these if that's the case. These 1/2-inch M12s fit perfectly. These also fit good on my Corvette. That guy right there. And one of these days I'll put it on my Camaro if the O-ring goes bad on that. But for now the O-ring was intact on that car. It was just shot on this Neon, so boom, I'm going to replace it with that. So we don't have any leaks out of the drain plug. So alright, now we'll go ahead and button this back up. Remember, this is a 17mm. So what that takes... Where the hell did I put it? Oh, there it is. So what that takes, and then torque specs. I think it's 20 foot-pounds. Let me check. And yes, engine oil drain plug, 20 foot-pounds, or that's 27 Newton meters. Or in the case of this, I'm going to roll inch-pounds because 3/8 drive and all. I don't feel like breaking out the adapter and everything and getting a big torque wrench. So 240 inch-pounds will do her. And now we can tighten the oil drain plug. Okay, and we have our filter filled and a nice fresh coat of oil around the O-ring there. So as you can see, it's a little below the threads. This thing holds roughly 1/2 quart, maybe a little less. But once you're there, you're good. So just below, once the level is just below the threads, go ahead and put your coat of oil. Now it should be noted, I guess there's no law that says you have to fill this thing up, but I mean it'll prevent a dry start. And you know, the Corvette and the Camaro, they both also have an oil filter that's like this, that's on the bottom. The BMW's got that paper one that's on top, and the best you can do with that is kind of fill the oil filter housing, and then you know the filter itself will be at least sitting, it'll be soaked in oil, so it's less of a dry start because you won't have to worry about it, the oil having to be absorbed by the paper filter and then start its flow. So But in the case of the Ford, as you saw when I did the oil change on that, you remember me doing this one. That one only goes in sideways, so you can't really fill it. But whatever. Some cars you can, some cars you can't. On the ones that you can, I prefer to have oil and the filter on a start. So, boom. I've got that done. Let's screw it back in. Hand tight only, of course, and then we'll fill her up. Okay, we're back up top. We're torqued down below to 240 inch-pounds, also known as 20 foot-pounds. The drain plug, and then we are also got the oil filter on hand tight. And now we can fill her up. 4.5 quarts, it says total. We already have half a quart in the filter, so we're going to do another 4 quarts from the top. That'll give us our 4.5. So we should have half a quart remaining. We'll check the level. If we need to add, we will. If we don't, we are good. Because I don't know if that filter absorbs more than what the factory filter did back in the day. Still about another quart to go. This is a big, massive, weighted filter, by the way, by Garage Bros. Garage Boss, rather. Comes in nice. Comes in handy. I recommend it. I'd use it. That's what I'm trying to say. And there we go. That's 4.5. So let's see if that's good enough. Or if we need to roll with the whole 5. Take you guys up and take you for a little walkabout. Just go underneath, make sure we don't have any leaks while it's dry. No leaks, filter's on. That's on. Alright. Let's go ahead and get her down off the jack stands here and start her up. And this is how I jack it up, by the way. As you can see, I got a big piece of wood over that piece of the subframe, so that way we, you know, don't have any issues distributing the weight. And then we just jack it up, and then we'll get it off the ramps, or jack stands. Okay, just checked it with the dipstick, and we are full. So 4.5 quarts with that filter will do it. Alright, we're done. So that's how we change the oil in our 05 Dodge Neon SXT 2.0 liter. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.